Mastering Excel is something like we call a comprehensive guide to advanced techniques, because we are well known with what Excel is, and a bit with a wide knowledge in advanced Excel as well. So let's go with Excel. So in Excel, whatever we do is like going with some pattern of things, cut, copy, paste, formatting, adjusting, aligning paragraphs. So you will be having complete set of rows and columns, right? So that is true. In rows and columns, we do have a data set of things, and we'll manipulate into whatever the pattern of things that we want to go across. And I'll show you this Excel. So okay, so this is completely the Excel that we call it out, right? So in this Excel, you're able to see rows and columns here. Okay. So how many set of rows do we have and how many set of columns do we have in Excel sheet? So I'll tell you. It's very simple to know. Hold the control button and go with the down arrow. So see here, how many rows do we have? 10,48,576 rows. Okay. And what about the columns? So in columns, we are able to see whatever the numbers that you are able to see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All this we call them as rows. Okay. And A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All this comes we call as columns. Okay. Alphabetical comes under columns, and numerical values will be under rows. So under this columns, how do we calculate? So alphabets, we are well known with A to Z. And A to Z, we are sure that we have 26 alphabets, right? But even after Z, do you guys know that we have n number of alphabets? So how do we calculate those? See here, A. So A is 1. Again, it is showing a 1. So do you think it is 11? Double 1? Okay, let me go with that. I'll show you that also. The same pattern, hold the control button with the right arrow. So we came to the last column, but it is showing XFD. So here, when we see this, we are not able to understand what is the count of how many columns do we have exactly. Because in rows, we have the numbers, so we can count it on. But in the columns, we are not sure how many columns do we have exactly is like. Okay? Okay. So then, what do we do is like, we'll apply a formula. Okay? Right. Is equals to column. Okay, so we are giving column, not columns, because we are selecting only one column. So because of that, you can take as column. So then select the cell that you wanted. The cell that I want to go for is XFD. It's nothing but the last column. So let me select, as we have a formula there. I'm just dragging it on. And now after it is done, just bracket close it and press enter. Now tell me, how many columns do we have here? 16,384 columns we have here. But if we are in a need or a requirement that we want more than 16,384, then you can press the next button, the right arrow, so that plus how many columns you want, you can take. And after 10,48,576 rows also, you can go with the next one by giving your down arrows. Okay, right. Let's go to the first one. Okay. So into a basic point, we are sure that we have rows and columns. And here, when I keep my cursor on the first cell, you guys are able to see A and 1. Here you are able to see A1. It's nothing but a combination of row and column. And it is A1 is given as a name box. If I select here, you are able to see F and 7. The same thing here. Okay. So in which cell is your cursor will be named by name box. Okay. And whatever the data that we take on and we apply and we go across with are being visible in this set of data. So for that, let me take a short data here. I'll just take this few. Okay. So here, when we have a data, see here, the data is very clear with a good spacing and with good set of a data that we are able to view it. But when I copy this and paste, see here, there is no set of alignment, no good view that you are able to see. So in general term, what do we do in general is like select the data, or we just come to the first pointing between A and B. There is a something like column, right? A line. We'll come here and we'll drag it on towards the right so that it could adjust according to the view that we want. And the same B2C column. Okay. But if we have 2 to 3 columns or 5 to 6 columns, what do we do in general is like we just select every column and drag it on. So in general terms, this is nothing but your Excel format that goes with. But into an advanced format, what do we do is like we can directly select all. Okay. If you have more than 5, 6, or 10 columns, also no issues, just select them. Okay. After selecting, just drag it from the middle. So automatically all the columns will align at the same time. And it might be have a low text or a more text, no issues on that. But whatever the set of width or a row height or a width of column that you increase, that will be added. It's not only for the column, but if you want on the rows, select how many rows you want it. If you want only for the first one, just drag it one. But as the same, if you guys want more for all the columns, select and drag it a bit low. So automatically this happens here. Okay. And now I want to know the things like here we have row and column and we have good alignment now. We are able to read it, view it very good.